In today's video, I am going to be breaking down what the flex is and basically what the flex offense really is all about. So let's check out what flex is first, and then a couple of potential plays that you can run to be able to get some easy points off of the flex action. Now, really quickly, if you want a deadly defense that can shut this down, make sure to go check out two books. Number one is the Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that is down in the description below. What that's going to do for you is that is going to allow you to double team everything from the free throw line and below, and everything up top is single coverage. Or make sure to go check out the Deadly Defensive Strategies book that is also down in the description below so that the other team just can't set up their offense. So basically what flex is in basic terms, it's an STS play. It's a screen the screener play. So what we are going to start with is an off-ball screen with player 5, in this case, setting the screen for player 2, and then he is going to be cutting towards the basket, which gives the first option for us to pass and potentially score off of. Now, he can hang out in the post. He can also do many other things after this initial screen. Depends on the play, but basically, right now, we're just going to keep him down here. Next in flex is going to be a pin down screen from player 3. Player 5 is going to use that screen, and player 3 is then going to show or post up or roll towards the key. This gives player 1 another option for him to pass to, either for a 2-point shot or potentially a 3-point shot. That right there is the flex action. It's very simple, it's very easy, and you can run it with your team. Now, you can actually run this inside of multiple different options when it comes to offenses, when it comes to basketball plays. So, for example, you can run something like this, where player 4 can set that screen for player 5. Player 5 pops out towards the wing, and then player 1 passes player 5 the ball. After 4 sets that screen, he's going to roll to the basket and potentially could be the first option to be able to score, other than player 5 potentially being open for a 3-point shot. But player 4 would have been the first technical option for a real basket. Now we are in flex, where we can run player 4 setting that screen, in this case for player 3. Player 3 would then cut across, and this would be our second option in this play. We can then have player 2 lift and player 3 fill out. If this is not an option that's open, player 5 can then dribble up top. And at this time, player 1 is going to go and set that screen for player 4. Player 4 is going to pop up, and then player 1 is going to roll to the basket, which would then give player 5 an option to then pass to either player 1 or to player 4 for the 3-point shot. So essentially, we are either going to get a layup or a 3-point shot in this set. Now, if you can teach your players how to run, for example, flex, and you explain it to them what flex is. Now, when they go to another team, for example, let's say they are very high-level players and they go to a university. Well, let's say that university runs Horns 7. Let's just say their version of whatever Horns 7 is to them is a flex action. Well, now they just have to remember how they get into flex, and then they just run it because they already know it. That's why I always like to actually teach real stuff to players who are, of course, in that middle school or high school age, and not just random stuff and chuck it at them and hope that it works. Because now by teaching them and explaining to them, hey, we are running flex. And you could run this in multiple different ways. So you could even have it with your team where it's the exact same action, flex for example, and run it as a horns and run it as a 5-out. For example, if you wanted to run 5-out flex, you could potentially have player 1 pass to player 4, and this would be a very basic pass and cut. Player 5 would then show. We would then pass player 5 the ball, and now we enter flex, where player 2 is our next option. If he's not open, player 3 can lift, player 2 can then fill out. Player 4 sets that pin down, player 1 lifts, 4 rolls off, and now we are in our secondary part of the flex action. So now you can actually run 2 plays that are essentially the exact same, where you can say, hey, I want to run horns flex and 5-out flex. And if you actually name them like that, for example, and let's say you do and you're in a grade 8 team, now they just have to remember how to get into flex to be able to run it from whatever set that they're running it from. And now they can learn where now they get into university or college or maybe senior high school, where they'll say, oh, that looks like the flex action. Okay, I know that part of the play. I don't need to learn that. I already know it. Now I just need to figure out how to get into it. I hope that this video has helped you. Hit that like button and subscribe. Make sure to go check out the Unbeatable Defense book, as well as the Deadly Defensive Strategies book that is down in the description below.